more, Lou. We've got Stephen Bondi coming on a little bit later to talk all things New York. But the night was emotional, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of got emotional at one point, just sort of because it was a lot. It was a lot going on, and Luka's
in free agency, or they ask for a trade, or it kind of runs its course in that franchise and you leave. This just the whole shock factor of this trade can just show you how much he was affected by it, how much the city was affected by it. I mean, have we ever seen a dude exit the court with the GM chance of fire Nico happening
loud
in their home building? So I think this is great. I think it's great closure for him. Again, I think it was a great move by Dallas with everything they did with the walking in, with the T-shirts, and it's just great to see. It just shows you how, you know, confused he was and how genuinely sad this dude was, and he cared. That's his home. That was his home for 6.5 years, and he showed it, and he couldn't help it, and he came out and absolutely cooked as well.
He didn't give him everything he had because he put a 45 on his head, so he had a little bit left in the tank. But it was great to see from the Mavs organization. Like that was a class act. The way that they handled this situation, the way that he was celebrated and admired. The fans were confused because they were cheering for the Lakers. They didn't even realize that they cheered for the Lakers the entire game. But this was well-deserved, you know. Still being such a young guy, you saw how much it meant to him, coming over in emotion and like, you know, when you go back to your former team and you did well there, you want to be celebrated in this fashion. So to see that and to see the reception as a former player, that was great to see.
And for most of the game, it was actually competitive and fun.
It was actually a good game.
Yeah, it was a good watch. They also handed out T-shirts that said "Thank you for everything" in Slovenian, which again, I would love to be a fly on the wall in these meetings within the organization, because on the one hand, you did this. On the other hand, now you're trying to figure out how to handle it. It's very weird.
It's layers, right?
Yes.
So the front office did it, but then you still have, you know, the fans that you still have the part of the organization that they are responsible for making sure that you get celebrated appropriately. And obviously you can tell by the fans that, you know, everybody wasn't on the same page with this move, and they're being very specific with the person that they want to place blame on. And he's wearing that hat. And so for that, everybody in Dallas, Texas, outside of Nico Harrison, didn't want this to happen. And you can tell that by the reception that he got last night.
Yeah, and I like it. And I think, listen, this like I said, this was his home from the moment he got to this country. It's not like he lived somewhere else.
He was
it's not
a baby.
Like he played on another team. This is very similar to Dirk coming over from Germany, and then if they were just to trade Dirk 7 years in, like it was a complete shock to everybody. And I think you kind of saw that response last night. There was zero boos. There were tears. That was a special night. And I do think just getting this out of the way before the playoffs, before next season, having this closure of, okay, that's just a chapter that's now closed and moving forward. And it was a special night for him. And again, he felt the love last night. He drove his own car and
he slept in his own house.
And again, mind you, this was 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's fresh.
I said it on yesterday's show. Like, this is ripping the Band-Aid off a fresh wound. Like, right when you think that this thing is healed up a little bit, I got to go back here and I got to face these fans. Like, the minute that the lights went off, I saw him tell his equipment manager, "Give me a towel."
Oh, buddy.
Give me a towel. Like, but that's what you want to see from a guy that, like Chandler mentioned, gives everything to a city, to a community, all parties involved in Texas. It was just great to see that type of reception for a former player coming back.
And as a GM, Nico does have a job to do, and he clearly thought this was the best move for him. Now, if he could go back, did he think it would be this much backlash, this much negative?
He had to know.
I don't know if he thought it'd be like this, man. This was next level.
He had to know. That's why they did it so secret.
That's why it's so shocking.
This was crazy, and again, I'm happy that Dallas embraced him and showed him, like, look, this was a business move, but you're still family, you're still welcome back here. We hope you come back here and play one day. But this was awesome to see. You don't usually see this from athletes. Kind of look at him. Like,
well, because we also have never been through this. Like,
right.
this is such a shocking.
The first one is always the toughest one.
Yeah.
You know, and not trying to jinx him, it probably won't be the last time. The longer that you play in the league, you'll start to kind of rack up a few teams under your belt. But he's still a very young guy, and again, it was a surprise to everybody, and especially Luka. Like, he didn't expect this. He was planting his flag in Dallas for years and years to come, and so for him to show this type of emotion, it kind of gave everybody the chills. Like, it made everybody feel something for him. But as soon as that ball was tipped off, it was business as usual, and he did his thing.
He was very much in control of that. By the way, Gatorade released a video that's kind of amazing, actually. No love lost, only sweat. But it's the towel around his neck that basically says traitor. How well done is that?
That's no mistake.
Of course it's no mistake. You know how many people are on that set making sure everything's perfect?
And you know what? I respect his endorsements and his brands that are coming to his, get his back. With Jordan doing the howdy y'all and their whole campaign for him, and now Gatorade kind of getting his back. This is exactly what you look for in a partner and an endorsement like this. So this was also awesome.
Meanwhile, he's a Laker now, and they're like,
did you guys know that he was with Gatorade before?
No. I don't know who anybody's with at this point.
Yeah.
Just assume they're all the stars are with.
There was also something how like his endorsements, the Dallas asked to do like some things, and Luka's endorsements basically shut it down. We're like, no, like he's on the Lakers now.
The audacity, by the way, the audacity to ask for anything at this point. Now, all of this happened, but there was an actual game that was played last night. In his first game back, tied season high with that. Also with 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. 31 points came in the first half. His 10th career 30-point half. It's a playoff clinched game for the Lakers. But right afterwards, you saw the tears. Here's Luka right after this game ended.
I don't know how I did it, because when I was watching that video, I was like, there's no way I'm playing this game.
I mean, I think a lot of people were like, "Uh-oh, is he going to be okay?" Lou didn't seem to
put on an absolute show, and honestly, this is the dream scenario. Like, going back to your former team and putting belt to ass. Like, that's that's the dream, because look, when you go back, you're so emotional, you're a little nervous, you're a little antsy. You have so many different things going through your head when you're going back to play a former team that you love so much that it might trick you into playing a bad game. This wasn't the case for Luka. He put on an absolute show. The first time I realized he had 25, it was like the second quarter, and I text the group chat. I'm like, he's trending for 50. Yesterday I said he was going to go for the 50 ball, so selfishly I wanted to look like a genius. I wanted to look like the guy that said, I told you he was going to go get 50. He was 5 off, but in a playoff clinching game, in a game that meant something to this Los Angeles Lakers team, a game that meant so much to him individually, he went out there and put on an absolute performance.
Yeah, the fact that he can go through all that and compartmentalize everything he just went through emotionally wise, and then still go out there and do what he did, and he did exactly what we thought we did.
I'd have been drained.
Yeah, we wanted to get that action, and we wanted to get that bet in. He did exactly what we thought he did. He dominated early and often, and he showed Nico and that ownership exactly what they traded away and how big of a mistake that was. And I've said this right when it happened. That man's winning MVP next year. You can book it.
Lucas?
Yes, like he is going to have an absolute revenge season tour. He already has. If I get a vote,
what is this? The prequel?
Yes.
You know what? Because
that man is going to go bananas next season.
I feel like there are stages to breakups, right? Like, we're sort of watching him have to live it out in real time. But it was like there was the shock involved at first. Ooh, didn't see it coming. Then there's the sadness we just saw, and now I think the rage sets in, and you're like, oh, I'm going to scorched earth this entire situation. There's more from Luka. Of course, there's more from Luka after this game. Here he is.
I love these fans. I love the city. But it's time to move on.
Now we're looking ahead, right? Because what is the actual ceiling here, Chandler, for this Lakers team?
Well, first of all,